Hey guys, this is Raze with Black Dragon Tech. I wanted to give you a first look at some of the gameplay and my first impressions with Guild Wars 2. It's been a while since I played an MMO, but I did play Guild Wars 1. I found it very enjoyable, and I think Guild Wars 2 is an improvement upon everything they had in Guild Wars 1, as well as some new features they added that make this game truly a competitor in the MMO market. Guild Wars 2, like Guild Wars 1, has no reoccurring subscription fee, so you pay the $60 to buy it, and then it's yours. You can play as casually or as much as you want without that recurring fee. It does have a gem market, a type of Farmville thing where you can actually put money into the game to buy more aesthetic stuff. I've seen aviator glasses, Matrix-looking clothing, and anything like that that you want to get in the game. The graphics of Guild Wars 2 is very on par with other graphics I've seen in other games. I would actually say a little bit better in some parts, especially the character itself. It's very detailed as you go through character customization. Even your facial features have a texture to them. It's not just kind of like a Spider-Man over-the-face thing. One other thing that makes the questing dynamic is your main quest story, or your character story actually starts in your character customization. As well as picking all your facial features, your race, your class, you pick several different traits that change your main quest line. You know, where you were raised, or what your biggest fear was, or anything like that actually plays into your character story and how your main quest line goes down. The questing in Guild Wars 2 was very interactive and fun. There's the usual type quest where you go and help someone out doing, random things, killing boars, collecting things, or, putting out fires. The thing I did like, though, is that it's not just specifically do one thing. You can actually do 3 or 4 things for one quest giver, and that will all go towards completing the quest. The world and how you interact with other players is actually very friendly. If you help anyone with killing a creature or a part of a quest, you actually get credit for it, even if it's only 2 or 3 hits. So instead of rolling up to a questing area, or if you're trying to do something and someone else is there, instead of being frustrated because now you have to fight for, killing those creatures, or you're trying to get those fiery essences, you can actually help other people and actually work together. That's a lot better idea than getting on your main to gank them, or laughing at them as they aggro 5 mobs and watching them die. The dynamic events in Guild Wars 2 actually made questing and leveling a lot funner. They were very random. Around the world, an event would just pop up. One of the events that I participated in was bandits were poisoning our water supply. And as we went through this event, we actually failed. They succeeded in poisoning the water supply. And so our follow-up event that happened right afterwards was toxic monsters actually started pouring out of the water supply, and we had to defeat them. In different cases, if you repel the bandits, then your next quest could be to go and actually raid their hideout, go finish them off, or something else, or even a different event, completely different, could spawn. But even if you do participate in any part of the event, you still get a reward for it. So if you hop in halfway through the bandit assault, or repelling the centaurs, then you still get credit. And it was very cool to see the world change, the events change, as the humans were fighting a group of centaurs most of the time, and they would actually take keeps from us, or we would take keeps back from them, or you'd be helping with a particular escort that wasn't always there. Someone was trapped behind enemy lines or something like that, and you're trying to get them back. Sometimes these events were actually kind of frustrating, I don't know, because playing a different character, I knew an event would happen in a certain area, because they would repeat every once in a while. And if I couldn't find that event, I was kind of like, oh, I missed something, I didn't get to do that event. But I guess that's kind of how the world is anyways. I mean, sometimes you don't always, you miss the bus to school, and then you end up having to walk instead. As well as being able to resurrect other people, you yourself have a chance to get yourself back up when you actually reach 0 hit points. You go into a last chance state where you have different abilities as you try and struggle to get back up. Very similar to the way that Borderlands did it. You're not automatically just dead. The combat in Guild Wars 2 was actually very, very mobile and very active. Everyone has a dodge, a natural dodge, so they can skip into any which direction. They can do multiple times in a fight, as well as all of your spells or abilities or whatever you're using can usually move with it. I haven't seen any spells that require you to actually stand still. So the mages, rangers, everyone is actually moving around as they're fighting. It's not kind of stand in one spot and do everything you can, or healing or anything like that. It's a very active combat. As well as having all those abilities allow you to move, you also have 2 different weapon sets you can use. Once you reach level 7, you unlock another weapon set you can actually switch to in combat at any time. I think there's like a 15-second cooldown. So one thing I did with my thief was I was actually using most of the time a sword and dagger on one weapon set, and then a short bow on the other. Sometimes I swapped it out for 2 pistols and 2 daggers or anything like that. Whatever I felt like I needed, I would switch to those 2 weapon sets. So this allows people, even like the warrior, to equip a rifle. So we can have some range combat. He's not completely grounded to a sword and board or to a weapon. He can actually swap out if you get away from him, and he can actually rifle you down, or he has a whole new set of abilities with the rifle than he does 2 weapons. Actually change your first 5 abilities, and every time you change your weapon set, that whole set changes. So you can change your whole action bar, or at least half of it, with just your weapon set. A couple of things that I saw or heard about that I didn't even get to tap into were the PvP. I also didn't get to go into the Kraken very much. I did see there was herbs or trees that you could actually collect things from, as well as I think every armor piece was salvageable, and you had salvage kits that apparently you could take the leather or the metal pieces from armor and actually recraft them into something. Also, there's a completely different system for fighting underwater. You actually have a different set of weapons that I didn't even really get to tap into. So all in all, I really enjoyed my experience with Guild Wars 2. I've already pre-ordered it, and I think it's going to be a really great game, not only because it's another MMO that can compete with all the others out there, it's also an MMO that actually tried to change the way gameplay. They tried to add new things with the dynamic events. They really tried to add a lot to it, so it's not just another kind of rerun, hey, this is another MMO to throw your money at. They want to make a game that you want to play because it's fun, and I think that's why Guild Wars 2 is going to be a great MMO.
It will be yours.